Hello everyone, I am the Board Observer, here to highlight the most talked about stories from this past week. From Manafort to superdelegates, the weekly rundown starts now. On Friday, verdict. Our Liberal contributor, Nasty Politics,
Girl, you nasty,
gets down to what Manafort and Cohen's verdicts mean for the Trump presidency after Michael Cohen's admission of being under Donald's directives. He says we should take to the polls and protect Mueller while making sure Kavanaugh gets a comprehensive vetting process. Also on Friday, Mueller. Our publisher, John Saltzman, dissects the current legal actions against Manafort and Cohen and how none of it confirms the Trump-Russia connections. On Saturday, Pelosi. Progressive writer, Politics on the March, criticizes Pelosi for struggling to answer what Democrats stand for.
But we have the gavel. Excuse me. We don't have the gavel. We don't have the...
Which earned her Trump's sarcastic endorsement. Also on Saturday, Me Too. Our contributor, Verstein of Truther Talk, has scathing remarks against the Me Too movement's leading voice, Asia Argento, for her double standards. Argento allegedly paid off a former child star, accusing her of sexual assault at age 17. Argento denies all claims. On Sunday, racism. Resident Liberal contributor, Steven Singer, a white man, and an educator, fights systemic racism in his own way and encourages everyone to do the same. The point is not to be perfect, but to try to fight racism, especially in Trump's America. Also on Sunday, Oprah. Conservative Mexican slams Oprah for encouraging more abortions and notes that only 1% of abortions are due to rape or risks to the mother's health.
And thanks to Shout Out Your Abortion.
On Monday, censorship. Our conservative writer, The Objective Podcast, showcases the parallels between ancient book burning policies to today's tech companies pulling the plug on conservative voices such as Alex Jones and other Republican politicians. Also on Monday, impeachment. Conservative contributor Jeff Crouere shares how the corrupt liberal media has sensationalized the possibility of Trump's impeachment following the Cohen and Manafort verdicts, but the 63 million deplorables will be behind Trump's back. On Tuesday, McCain. Our co-publisher, Pat Greer, blames the media for fanning the flames of division and the American public disrespect of McCain, a longtime public servant and war hero. Also on Tuesday, Tribond. Independent contributor, Three Patriots, analyzes how liberals have been moving to ban so many things like straws and sodas. They argue that the answer isn't more government regulation and control. On Wednesday, Trump. Our co-publisher, conservative John Saltzman, reminds all Americans that it's fundamental that we disagree on issues, but the only way Trump gets out of the office is if he's elected out in 2020. Also on Wednesday, Canada. Our Liberal contributor, Andrew Bruce, thinks Canada is a far worse security border threat than Mexico, because our border force up north is more open and has less important manpower than the South. On Thursday, McCain. Conservative pundit John Ferry analyzes how Trump won the conservative base, despite McCain being a war hero and maverick politician, which should be a lesson for all D.C. Republicans. Also on Thursday, DNC. Ahead of the 2020 elections, the DNC has stripped powers for superdelegates. Not all minority voters are happy, but they wish to elect more Democrats in D.C. Ethan Kelly of Let's Talk Elections discusses the possible effects. And that about does it for this edition of The Weekly Rundown. Be sure to click on The Political Storm and join in on the conversations about the most talked about issues of the day. Once again, I am the Board Observer, signing off. Go Dogs.